Here's Celtics coach Ime Udoka.
Offensive rebounds, really. I mean, the story of the game, they have 17 for 20 second chance points, and a large majority of those came in the second half. They only had 6 in the first half, so we were doing a good job as far as that. And to give up 14, and especially on those specific plays where they got kick-out threes. Some were long rebounds, so we're a little bit tougher, but we got to find bodies, obviously, on those, and then the free throw one stands out.
And what were you trying to do on that final play when Marcus was blocked by Holiday?
A weak side action for Al and JB, and then bring a specific matchup into it to get the matchup we wanted downhill for JT. Got a little stagnant on the weak side. They didn't pass, and clock was running down with no timeout, so Marcus had to go get it and try to make a play.
You went back to you went with Derek for a lot of the fourth quarter there. You went back to Grant with around 2 minutes left. What was your thinking there, and just what was the demeanor in the locker room for just a team after, obviously being up by 14 in the fourth quarter there, and having kind of taken from you guys like that?
Yeah, the reason we subbed Grant was for some size. We were getting hurt on the boards, obviously, and it didn't really matter there, but we wanted to have some defensive size and get some rebounds and have another defender for Antetokounmpo. So we brought him in kind of situational with him and Derek, offense, defense. And then in general, of course, we're going to be down. Guys are going to be pissed about the outcome. We outplayed them for 3.5 quarters. And so we talked about, showing our resolve. We made it tougher on ourselves now, and it'll make it sweeter when we bounce back. But we gave up a golden opportunity tonight.
How do you make sure that something like this doesn't bleed into a game 6 when it happens the way it does at the end?
Yeah, you have to look at the positives and what we did well, which was defend at a high level in the first half. 2 30-point quarters in the second half is obviously not to our standard, and so you look at all the actions and what happened there, especially them getting out in transition. Had some turnovers with only 2 in the first half, and they scored on a good amount on those in the second half, and so look at the positives, how we built the lead, and some of the things we did not do in the end, especially the offensive rebounds, hustle plays, and credit to them to hit 2 big threes.
I'm sure nothing can compare to the Spurs loss in the finals, but you were there as an assistant on that team. Is there anything you take away from that about trying to respond from a loss that's kind of as crushing as this one?
Yeah, you still have an opportunity. It's not a series-ending makeup for it, and like I said, we played extremely well for 3.5 quarters. Got a little stagnant, missed some shots in the fourth, but also didn't love our defense in those last quarters. But look at the positives that we did to get that 14-point lead. We had a 13 in the first half, and how we can build on that. But we have a golden opportunity, and that's the story here. And it's going to be tougher now. Got to go get 2 in a row, but what we've done throughout this series and throughout the season is bounce back when we've been tested, and even in this series, it's an opportunity tonight. But have to go to Milwaukee, take it 1 game at a time, and try to bring it back here.
Ime, just kind of along those lines, how stunning was it for you to come into that locker room after what happened? It was so quick down the stretch there, and what kind of lessons do you learn as a group here as you get ready for now a game 6 in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I mean the threes that they hit, obviously, but giving up the rebound on the free throw, that's a tough one to swallow, especially knowing they have a poor free throw shooter up there. You just got to find bodies and come up with that one. So that's going to sting, but we got to put it behind us and understand we still have a great opportunity. And it's not like we've been terribly outplayed and don't have a chance. We've given up 1, and some games we've lost, we haven't played our best. And so, we proved last game we can go win 1 in Milwaukee. You have to do that, and then put the pressure on them back here in our place.
Where did you think some of the things went wrong on those second chances in that fourth quarter? Was it kind of bad bounces or positioning or effort?
A little bit of both. There were some long rebounds, but there were some 50-50 balls that were kind of hitting the floor a few times, and felt like we could have got on the floor and got those. Those are momentum stoppers. So those ones stands out, but a lot of balls hit our hands as well that we got to come up with. So, there's some tough bounces from threes, but inexcusable on the free throw.
What did you see in the last 5 minutes offensively that just wasn't allowing you guys to get going the way you wanted?
We settled for some mid-range shots. against some guys that we have favorable matchups that we can drive against. You know, we didn't get out in transition as much because we weren't getting the stops that we did in the first half, so we didn't lead to a lot of easy baskets. And then there were some tough contested ones at the basket that we missed, you know, with some contact. And at times it felt like we were getting bumped as much, but they didn't call us, so we got to play through it. And so mainly that we weren't getting the stops on the defensive end to get out and get the easy baskets.
Ime, the story of the prior game was, in both games in Milwaukee, was wearing them down, and you saw Giannis with his hands on his knees. Didn't seem like that was the case in this one. They had a lot of energy at the end. What was different about that in this game?
I mean, it did see that. You saw that visibly last game. It may not have been the case tonight. They understand, you know, they didn't want to go down to an elimination game, and so I don't know if it was a lack of energy on either team's part, and definitely not them. They made some plays, but I don't think our mistakes were due to a lack of energy, and so just poor rebounding. Some tough calls that they got, you know, where we felt we got bodied up as well. And so that's what you have to play through, and we have to execute better on our end to keep ourselves out of those situations.
Did you not have, like, I guess the question is, why weren't you able to wear them down in the same way that you had in the past couple of games?
Hard to say, honestly. You know, I don't. We were putting him in the same actions, defending him at the same level. You know, he shot a better percentage tonight, I guess 16 for 27 as opposed to 30 last game, but just felt like we didn't make those kind of game-clinching plays when we had the chance to kind of put our foot on the gas and pull away a little bit. We always gave them hope with the rebounds. The easy baskets kept them in it, and so anytime you got life, you get a little more energy to stay in the game instead of getting kind of depleted energy-wise and putting your head down. So we kept them in it at times, and due to those offensive rebounds, credit them that they came up with those plays.
I mean, did you consider at all using any of your challenge on any of those calls late?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're looking at those, but everyone was a hit on the arm or something obvious that we knew we had to save some timeouts toward the end. And if it's a clear foul on Grant on the arm or vice versa, they didn't call one on JT because it was a clear foul. It's no point in wasting one, knowing we need to save some timeouts as well. But if there was something clear, we would have obviously done it.
And they went small, obviously, because they needed shooters. Did you at all think of countering that? Because that's when they kind of the three-pointers started and they were able to get back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, we like to go with both, smaller, big, and we're comfortable doing both. But you know, I felt Derek was playing better than Grant tonight. And to your point, some of the isolations we still had our matchups on Antetokounmpo, and we like our smaller guys to scramble a little bit more. So as far as that, I just think it was a situational where Derek was playing better, and if Grant was, we'd obviously feel comfortable going with that lineup against a small lineup.